from the results section, and here is the rundown. Bike number 356 up on top, and your current points leader in this class is Joe Solis out of Whittier, California. Then comes bike number 185, sponsored by Redline Video and Alan Reinl, and that is Billy DeBeer. Bike number 110 is going to be James Poet. Then comes bike number 75, Steve Reynosa. Bike number 425, Ron Sweet. Bike number 130, John Snyder. Bike number 183, the winner of the second round here, Richard Moore. Bike number 147, Danny Brown. In this class, so we got a green flag and away we go. The third round of the Honda Interceptor Series is underway. Another rider to watch for also could be one of the favorites from Riverside, California, bike number 40, Danny Brown, sponsored by Sunny Mead Motorcycles and Tri-City Cycles. Jim Pinnell is his tuner. Also another rider to watch for is a mission out of Monrovia, sponsored by Redline Video and Temple City Honda, Billy DeBeer. This field go down that back straightaway and going to turn number 8. We've got about 1, 2, 3, 5 riders contesting for the lead here, and about another 3 or 4 riders behind him, and one guy's just skirting through everybody heading toward the leaders. We're going to have a 6-rider pack battling for the lead as they come down the start-finish line, and we're going to have a lot of busy fingers up in the scoring tower as they come by the start-finish line. It's bike number 11, Whitney Blakesley, out in front. Okay, it looks like we captured 75, Steve Reynosa running in second spot. In third spot, bike number 183, that was Richard Moore, he's running in third. Bike number 170 is going to be Nigel Gale, he's running in fourth spot. And in fifth spot, bike number 80, Malcolm Hill. And it looks like in sixth spot is bike number 241, and that is Chris Grabau. And then comes bike number 30. And we're looking for him on our list here. Bike number 30. We don't have it. Maybe it's 130, John Snyder. We'll have to check that next time around. So, us up here in the top 7 so far. So he's in jeopardy of losing his points lead. If any of these other riders, like Steve Reynosa, or your leader, Whitney Blakesley, who's currently running 5th in the point standings, could move right up into 1st with a win out here today. And your leaders, once again, looks like Whitney Blakesley going around turn number 8, starting to break away a little bit. But look at this battle for second spot. We've got 4 riders going for second, and one rider just blows his way through the field. Now that 4-rider duel for second turned into a 7-rider duel for second as they come down the start-finish straight. Whitney Blakesley opening up just a little bit of a lead over, looks like Nigel Gale running in second. Don Bialva running in 4th spot. It looks like Richard Moore running in 3rd still. Pulling it into the pits with a mechanical problem. Now, all right, your leader's heading up the hill. It's still Whitney Blakesley out of Costa Mesa, California, sponsored by Champion Milwaukee, and he's got the pack right where he wants him, right about 2 or 3 seconds behind him. At this stage of the race, he's trying to pull farther and farther away, and now we've got one rider starting to splinter off from the rest of the group and trying to go chase Whitney Blakesley down. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 8 riders going for 3rd place, and they're making a double here in this 3rd round of the Honda Interceptor Series as they go down the back straightaway. And of course, Whitney Blakesley, if he can hold on to this lead, after 3 rounds, we'll have 3 different winners in this Honda Interceptor series, and he might be able to take over the points lead with a win here. Jerry Turner to the announcer's tower, please. Jerry Turner to the announcer's tower. Okay, they swing wide out of turn number 9, and a little bit farther gap between the leader and second spot as Whitney Blakeslee opens up. We don't see Whitney Blakeslee come by the top. Did he? Yeah, he came by, didn't he? This is unofficial, but we don't see Whitney Blakeslee that came by on our charts. We'll have to check and see if he's out on the racetrack somewhere. If that's the case, bike number 75 takes over the lead. And that would be Steve Reynosa. Okay, your leader's heading around turn number 8, going into turn number 9 one more time. Over by the start finish line, it is bike number 75 out in front. We don't see Whitney Blakeslee on the list anymore, so it's Steve Reynosa, Nigel Gale, Joe Solis, and Don Biava in that order as they head around turn number 1. Okay, evidently Whitney Blakeslee had an excursion off in the racetrack because he's back out on the racetrack, but he's running in about 7th or 8th position. Taking an excursion, got off into the dirt and rode it back onto the racetrack again. But he's way down in the pack right now. He's back down in about 7th or 8th position, but he's right there behind Malcolm Hill. Still up there in the top 10, but Steve Reynosa now bidding for his first ever Honda Interceptor Series win, as he's got about a 2 or 3 second lead over Nigel Gale. Of course, Nigel Gale would be going for his first Honda Interceptor's win. So it looks like your first 2 winners, Don Biava and Richard Boyle, who are up there in the hunt. They're finding it very, very difficult to repeat as winners in this Honda Interceptor Series. Okay, out in front, Steve Reynosa from Rowland Heights, California on that Honda 500. He's sponsored by Action Force and Shoei Helmets. And he's showing the rest of the field that he's on his way to winning his first ever Honda Interceptor Series as your leaders go by the start-finish line. Okay, Whitney Blakeslee now back down into 7th spot, as we mentioned, behind Malcolm Hill, who is running in 6th spot. As it stands right now, it's still Reynosa, Nigel Gale, Joe Solis, who's your points leader, might hold on that points lead with a 3rd place finish. Then comes Don Biava, who won the first round here. He's running in 4th position right now. And then comes bike number 183, that is Richard Moore. And of course, Richard Moore and Don Biava, both past winners, dueling it out right now for 4th position around this 2.5-mile racetrack. Okay, your leader's down that back straightaway. And let's see if Whitney Blakeslee is starting to pick up in a class that is so evenly matched to get around any riders. It's awfully tough to pass when you're competing against bikes that have just about the same horsepower as your leader's coming out of turn number 9 right now. It is bike number 75, Steve Reynosa, and he's got a pretty fair-sized lead coming down the start-finish line. Joe Solis now takes over second from Nigel Gale. So Solis really making inroads. He finished second the first time out here in this class. And now he had a third in the last round, and now he's got a second again as he's battling Nigel Gale for second spot. Gale in third. Okay, starter John Rowley looking for our leader. Here he comes out of turn number 9. And looks like John's going to give him what? The white flag this time around. And there it is, 2.5 miles to go for Steve Reynosa. We'll have our third different winner in this Honda Interceptor series. Joe Solis running in second spot, Nigel Gale in third. Look at this battle for fourth between Richard Moore and Don Biava. Both those riders going side by side. Those are your two winners of this race the last couple of months. And they're in jeopardy of now of losing that to... looks like Steve Reynosa with a 139.2. It's about 90.9 miles an hour, 139.2. So now it looks like Reynosa is going to go down in the record books as winning, being the third rider to win this Honda Interceptor Series. As he goes up the hill right now, we've got still Joe Solis and Nigel Gale in a terrific dice for second spot, and another terrific dice between Biava and Richard Moore for fourth and fifth. We'd like to have the top 3 places up to the announcer's tower, please, or at least the winner up to the announcer's tower for an interview. I can't give you the money up here because I don't have the check, but we can at least tell you that Honda will be paying you the $400 check. Coming down to get the checkered flag for Steve Reynosa, who's going to win it. But look at this battle for second. Can Solis hold off Nigel Gale? And it looks like he's going to. Solis gets second spot and will definitely enhance his points lead. Gale gets third. Richard Moore gets fourth. Don Biava gets fifth. Coming down here to get sixth spot will be Malcolm Hill. Whitney Blakeson will finally get seventh after leading this race earlier on, and then he went off the track and came back to finish unofficially, I guess, in 7th or 8th position, but that's about as far down as we can go. The official results will be posted a little later. If we can have Steve Reynosa up here to the announcer's tower, please, we deeply appreciate it. Sweet, 356 Joe Solis, 75 Steve Reynosa, and also 183 Richard Moore. You can't discount Nigel Gale. He's had a late start, but he's starting to work his way up now. And there they go. They get the green flag, and away they go. It looks like Joe Solis is going to get a good start. But to the outside and sweeping into turn number 1. Oh, it is Solis and Moore just dead heat as they go around turn number 1. It looks like Moore takes advantage of it and it leads the pack through into turn number 2. On the hill, I couldn't see. And it looks like it is Richard Moore with a substantial lead in this Interceptor race, surprisingly enough. Out in front and just decimating the field as it is right now. I can't believe it. This is the biggest lead I've ever seen in any Interceptor race this year. And Moore, who had the crash early on in practice, is starting to just destroy this field. And boy, he put on a new gas tank and a master cylinder. Gary Clem, who's helping us out in scoring, rode all the way up from San Diego. First time he's been out in a race in a long time. He lends him the parts off of his bike, and he's got that bike out in front. And here comes Richard Moore coming down the front straightaway. Lap 1 down, 9 laps to go. Reynosa coming up in second spot now is starting to close in on your lead as they go around turn number 1. Whitney Blakeslee, who says Reynosa's going to win this race, and it looks like Reynosa's starting to really move himself away from that pack and start moving in on the leader, and he's crawling all over your leader right now. Oh, he takes the lead to the inside. Moore went way wide into turn number 2, and Reynosa took an easy inside line and takes over the lead. So Reynosa now taking over the lead in this Honda Interceptor race. So now it's Reynosa and Moore, and of course these two riders running first and third in the point standings right now. Solis also up there in the top 3. Okay, this race is split up into 3 different races. 2 riders going for the lead, 2 riders going for 3rd spot, and it looks like about 4 riders going for 5th spot. And a lot of changing going on back there. And every one of these position changes is important because we're getting down to the end of the season and a lot of money riding on it. The top 7 riders going to be picking up a lot of money toward the end of the season. $2,400 to the winner. And right now, Richard Moore holding on to that and is really pumped up for it, taking this race seriously. Currently running in 2nd spot. Reynosa in front. Moore in 2nd spot. Billy the Bear running in 3rd spot. Then comes the 178. That is Mark Ingles running in 4th spot. Of course, Mark Ingles did so well last month, but he got a late start in the season in running, and now he finds himself in 4th. What surprisingly enough is Billy DeBeer. An excellent ride by Billy DeBeer, running up there in 3rd spot, and this will definitely help his chances toward getting some points and also that big point fund that's going to pay a lot of money at the end of the season. Billy DeBeer in an excellent ride in 3rd spot and still not out of it yet. Billy DeBeer sponsored by Redline Videos and Alan Reinl, who's taking some pictures of all you guys. Today he's got a video cassette tape and a television down here in the snack bar area, and you guys interested in seeing some VCR tapes of yourself, they've got them down there in the snack bar position right now. Well, we got a big breeze coming right across the start-finish straight here, and it's starting to whip up a little bit of a dust cloud or a little bit of a tornado as it goes to the inside of the racetrack. Hopefully that won't affect the riders too much coming out of turn number 9. But right now it's Reynosa and Moore, and they're starting to move away from the rest of the field. Billy DeBeer also starting to catch up with the leaders a little bit, and it looks like it's going to be these 3 riders. They're going to be dueling it down for the lead. It's going to be Reynosa, Moore, and DeBeer in that order as they come by to complete another lap. Okay, in 4th spot we've got a lot of changes going on. 26 now takes over 4th spot. That was Ben Williams. And in 5th spot 178, that is Mark Ingles. And 6th spot 356, Joe Solis, who's currently running 2nd in the standings, finds himself way down there in 6th spot. That's not going to help his cause. And 496 right after them is Eric Van Marter. We don't see the 4th place runner in the point standings right now. Nigel Gale's not out here. Nigel didn't even come out at all today, and of course that's going to really hurt his chances in the Honda Interceptor series race. But Nigel not here today, and he will definitely go down in the standings. He's currently running in third and can smell that $2,400 in his pocket if he can just collect a win here today and keep on doing well the rest of the season. But right now, it's still Reynosa out in front on the back straight and starting to stretch it out a little bit. In fact, they're just about evenly spaced between Reynosa and Moore and De Beer. And Reynosa now starting to power away a little bit. This is the farthest I've ever seen this Honda Interceptor race go. I mean, there's a big, that's a big lead for this race. But still no change. It's still Reynosa. It's still Moore in second. And Billy De Beer picking it up a little bit on Moore. Going around turn number 1 and into turn number 2. So Reynosa trying to cut into that points lead of Richard Moore, the Tustin Honda sponsored rider, and he's going to probably do it if he can hold on to the lead. We'll see what happens here. We're not quite halfway through the race yet. In fact, right now Richard Moore having problems with Billy De Beer, who seems to be inching third spot, and Billy De Beer is going to find himself in some money at the end of the year if he has more races like he's having out here today, having a good run, running in third spot.
Second spot.
Okay, Billy De Beer now passes Moore for the second spot as your leader's now coming off at turn number 9. It's Reynosa, and Reynosa motoring away now. And look at this battle for second. Moore finds himself in third. It's Billy De Beer running in second spot. We're halfway through the race.
136.
Okay, here we go. Looks like Moore's going to try and make a move on Billy De Beer and takes over second spot down into the kink. Oh, they're side by side. You can virtually touch each other as they go around turn number 8, exactly the same speed. Neither one going to give an inch. Finally, Richard Moore gives it to Billy De Beer. Let's see if Moore can take him as he comes down this front straightaway. Here comes Reynosa. And here comes your battle for second spot. And of course, every time there's a position between Reynosa and Moore, Reynosa knifes into that points lead, which is about $700-800. That makes a lot of difference. As Reynosa now starts to motor away, and it looks like he's going to go to have an easy win. Billy De Beer still holding on to second spot over Richard Moore. However, Moore came right back on him and almost got by him on that last lap. In fourth spot is still Joe Solis. Now, he started to pick it up after a bad start. He's now come up Ben Williams. There's another new rider we haven't heard from much, Mark Ingalls, who was up there in about third or fourth earlier, and he's dropped back some. So it's still Moore, De Beer, Reynosa, De Beer, Moore, Solis, and Ben Williams, bike number 26. That's the newcomer. That's the new rider running in 5th spot. An excellent job by Ben Williams running there in 5th.
Go, baby, go. Where's that motherfucker? Come on. Come on, Billy. Come on, stop.
Okay, Reynosa with a pretty commanding lead here. And look at this, Billy DeBeer now starting to pull away a little bit from Richard Moore. Moore now running in 3rd. In 4th spot. Coming by, it's Joe Solis. And of course, Solis, very consistent runner all year long. I believe he hasn't won any, but he's finished 2nd or 3rd the last 4 or 5 times out, and that puts him right up there in the point standings. As we have it, he's now currently running 2nd in the standings. However, Reynosa will make a big jump toward that points lead if he can hold on to this lead here. So it's still Reynosa, DeBeer, who's not even in the top 10, by the way, Billy DeBeer is, and yet he's showing... Carl Nagy to the start-finish line. Carl Nagy, they need you down at the start-finish line. Race results through race 6 are posted. Results through race number 6 are posted.
Go, baby, go. Motherfucking battery, dude. There we go. Not far away. Gaining on him. What's up, boy?
Okay, white flag lap for bike number 75, Reynosa. And as Whitney Blakely said, Reynosa was going to win this one, and sure enough, he's pulled it out. In fact, this is probably the largest lead we've seen in this Honda Interceptor Series all year long. And he's got the lead and possibly the win. In 2nd spot is still Billy DeBeer. And now is Joe Solis up there in 3rd spot? Okay, Moore went by in 3rd, and then Solis in 4th. Then comes Ben Williams in 5th spot, and in 6th spot, 178, that's Mark Ingalls. Then comes 496, Eric Van Marter, running there in 7th spot. In 8th spot, 136. That's Steve Schrader, the Cycle Racer sponsored rider. He's running. Okay, we got a lap time up here on your leader, and it was 1:39, 1:39.28, and that's about 2 seconds off the pace. So the competition really wasn't here today, but Reynosa, that's all he cares about is the points. Okay, here comes Curtis Maddox. He's got the checkered flag out for Steve Reynosa, and he takes the win. And 2nd spot is Billy DeBeer. And in 3rd spot, it is Richard Moore. He'll hold on to the points lead, but not as big a margin as he had before. So Richard Moore grabbing 3rd spot. Joe Solis grabbing 4th spot. Ben Williams, a fine race for 5th spot. And he beats out Mark Ingalls, who finishes 6th. So, even though Richard Moore didn't have quite the day he had his hands full with a very unfamiliar bike. He crashed that bike. Well, here's the rundown for race number 7. This is one of the feature main events, the Honda 500 Interceptor Series race. Coming into this event now, we've got about 4 or 5 riders that can win this thing. And remember, a couple of months back, we had 4 guys coming, almost 5 guys crossing that line almost together. It was a terrific race, one of the best races of the year, and we'll probably see another one because these guys are their bikes and machines are so equal that it really does count on rider ability, and yet these bikes can go very, very fast. So we're looking for another great race here in this Honda Interceptor Series. so here's the rundown for the Honda 500 Interceptor Series race, one of the main events, an 8-lap event. Bike number 368 is going to be Rick Marino. Bike number 116X, Arthur Kawaguchi. Bike number 822, Ken Englert. Bike number 185X, possibly one of the dark horse favorites, is going to be Billy DeBeer. Bike number 496, Eric Van Marter. Bike number 26X, Ben Williams. Sweet, we look for him to be right up there amongst the leaders. Bike number 425, Ron Sweet. Also another rider who has finished second twice so far and has one third-place finish in this series and was the early points leader after about 3 rounds of this series. Bike number 356, Joe Solis. 56, Joe Solis. 75, Steve Reynosa. Richard Moore, 183. Those should be the riders to look for. One of the riders that we see absent here on the grid is Don Biava, who was the winner of the first ever race, and of course that must have been the most difficult one because he had Russ Cooley back there and Doug Tolan and a lot of famous riders back there and back of him, and he beat them all. So Don Biava, he's not out here, but he won the very first Honda 500 Interceptor race, series race ever, and now we haven't seen him in the top 3 ever since that time. Anybody down here in the paddock area, attention down in the pits, anybody in the paddock area have 750 GPZ Kawasaki rear disc pads. They got to be stock rear disc pads. If anybody down in the paddock area happens to have any stock rear disc pads for GPZ Kawasaki 750, see roll off down there. Roll off looking for a set of disc pads. Roll off already the winner of 3 races. I hope somebody goes through for him. Interceptor Series field working their way up the hill, and already 4 riders doing it out for the lead as they go up the hill. We've got about 8, 9 riders going for the lead coming out of turn number 9, and here they come out of turn number 9 going down the front straightaway. Look at this rider run for another great race again. Okay, Richard Moore out in front, bike number 183, the Tustin Honda rider who already has 2 wins under his belt, going for number 3. Ron Sweet, the hard luck rider, running there in second spot. That's where we usually see this guy. He runs right up there and then disaster strikes toward the end of the race. Let's see if he can hold on to it this time out. Ron Sweet running in second spot. In third spot, 185, that's Billy DeBeer. As we mentioned, he was one of the dark horses from Monrovia, California on that Honda of Temple City sponsored bike. Billy DeBeer running in third. In fourth spot, bike number 178, that was Mark Ingalls from Northern California. And running in fifth spot, way down now, is Steve Reynosa. He also has won 2 races. He's got his work cut out for him. Bike number 75, Steve Reynosa finds himself in 5th position. But any one of 7 or 8 bikes can win this one. One of the riders is off into the dirt and has rode it off. And it was one of your leaders, and he's dropped way off the pace now. It looks like it could have been Ingalls unofficially. We'll have to check that out. Now we've got a 3-rider duel for first and a 3-rider duel for 4th position as they head around turn number 8. I think we're in for a terrific race. The rider rode it back off and rode it right back on again. Here we go, 3 riders now coming down to complete lap number 2. And it looks like it's still Richard Moore, but just barely. Ron Sweet's going to try and win his first race of the year, as he's been trying to do all year long. He's going to try and go for the lead right here. And he pulls alongside Richard Moore, and he's going to try and outbreak him into turn number 1. He outbreaks Richard Moore and takes the lead going into turn number 1. Ron Sweet, who has never won a race, and in fact has never even led one of these before, but has been always up in the front, has finally taken over the lead, and we may have a new winner here of this Honda 500 Interceptor Series race. Ron Sweet, the hard luck riders we mentioned, having no luck at all in this series, but is always running up there when disaster strikes, is now leading the race. Let's see if he can hold on to it. He goes out of turn number 2, and no, it looks like Richard Moore's pulled up alongside of him and outbroke him into turn number 3 as they go up the hill. What a great race we got going for up on top of the hill. It is now Moore, Ron Sweet, and 185, Billy DeBear is still holding down third spot. Now, three-rider duel now for the lead is now a four-rider duel as they go down that back straightaway. This is why this series is so exciting. This is what the people come out to see. Remember, 2 months ago, we had 4 riders come by the start-finish line almost in a dead heat, and it looks like it may be this way again as we've got 4 riders dueling it out for the lead down that back straightaway. It looks like Billy DeBear now has gone up in the second spot. We'll have to check that as they come down the start-finish straight. Here they come out of turn number 9. 4 riders battling it out for the lead. We got 2 other riders behind them. We actually got a 6-rider duel for the lead. Coming down the first straightaway. Look at this. They're jockeying back and forth. It's still
183, 185, 425, 75.
Richard Moore and Billy DeBear in that order. Then came Ron Sweet, and Steve Reynosa now is also up there in the pack. 156 back there in 5th spot. That is 356, Joe Solis running there in 5th spot, and he's also up there in the place standings. Look at these 4 riders going around turn number 2. We've got Billy DeBear up in that fray, Richard Moore up there. We've also got Ron Sweet and Steve Reynosa, and all 4 of those riders going up the hill right now. In fact, that 4-rider duel for the lead is going to be a 5-rider duel, as it looks like Solis now is picking it up a little bit. Looks like that's the rider who's running in 6th spot. He is right behind that freight train for the lead, and Ben Williams is another newcomer. Look at this for the lead. Billy DeBear is going to take over the lead from Richard Moore going into turn number 8. Billy DeBear now leads this Honda 500 Interceptor Series for the first time ever in his life. And we've got all kinds of newcomers scraping for the lead up there with Ron Sweet, Richard Moore, who's won this race twice, and he's finding out right now just how difficult it is to win in this series. As they come out of turn number 9, we've still got 6 riders going for it. Look at this race coming down to the flag as they get the halfway mark. It is now Billy DeBear, Richard Moore, Ron Sweet, Steve Reynosa. The top 4 riders, and they're making it back and forth. Richard Moore goes to the inside. No, Billy DeBear holds him off. Billy DeBear out of Monrovia, California, sponsored by Alan Reinl and Redline Video. Out in front, Richard Moore, Tustin Honda rider, running there in 2nd spot, and he's followed very closely by Ron Sweet and Steve Reynosa. Reynosa goes to the outside of Sweet and takes over 3rd position. And when he does that, now it looks like another rider in 5th position has worked his way up into 4th. Oh, we've got 5 riders, and they're all within 10 yards of each other. You can cover all of them with a handkerchief as they go up the hill. This is what the Honda 500 Interceptor Series is all about, and believe me, from the very first race now, these guys are in position now of making this the best race of the season. And we don't have to tell you, a couple of months ago, this was the best race of the whole year when the 4 riders came across that line almost in a dead heat, and it looks like they're going to do it again. And this time we've got 6 riders that are still battling out for the lead as they go down into that little kink, and it's still Billy DeBear holding off Richard Moore. And we're trying to pick up 3rd place. It could be Ron Sweet in there, Steve Reynosa. Running back in there, we've got the 5 riders coming down the start-finish straight. 5 riders coming out of turn number 9, coming down and going to lead another lap. Coming by, it was Billy DeBear, Richard Moore, Steve Reynosa now in 3rd, Joe Solis in 4th, Ron Sweet back in the 5th spot, and in 6th spot, bike number 26, that was Ben Williams. So Ben Williams really one of the real newcomers to this race. Look at this, we got riders 3 abreast going on turn number 2, all battling out for the lead. This is the best race of the day so far. Like a freight train, and it's still Billy DeBear, Richard Moore, Steve Reynosa, Joe Solis, Ron Sweet, and Ben Williams, and not particularly in that order, as it changes as I'm telling you about them. They go down that back straightaway, they're going to come up on this left rider, and hopefully, after that left rider, it'll be a clean run to the flag for all these riders. We got 6 riders still battling it out, and Ben Williams was there in 6th. It was only about a couple of feet from first place. Here they come out of turn number 9 again. All 6 riders are through in great shape. And we're coming down for a white flag or 2 laps to go, John. It's 2 laps to go. Coming out of turn number 9, coming down the first railway, pulling out a little bit now. It looks like it's Steve Reynosa. And then Billy DeBear, and then comes Richard Moore, and I can't, about 3 other riders in back of them. So it looks like Reynosa, who's also won 2 of these, is looking for his 3rd win and move him up in the point standings. We've got 2 laps to go, and we've still got 6 riders battling it out for the lead as they hit around turn number 2. Richard Moore's motorcycle looks the fastest out there as he goes up into turn number 2 and 3, and he's starting to motor out a little bit over 2nd spot. In fact, that's the biggest lead we've seen all day in this class. Oh, we've got 3 riders down up there in turn number 3, and they were your leaders. As it looks like Reynosa is one of the survivors of that, as along with, it looks like a couple others will pick him up for you, but half that lead for the finish line is taken out up there in turn number 4. The 3 riders sliding out in turn number 4 up on top of the hill. We've still got the leaders though to contend with in turn number 8. Oh, bad, unfortunate accident. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Ron Sweet wasn't one of those victims. As we mentioned, he's just had bad luck all year long. Let's check up the names and the numbers for you as they come by this time, and we'll check it out as they get the white flag. With 1 lap to go, we'll see who the guy is out in front, and it is Steve Reynosa on his way to winning his 3rd one. 2nd place is Richard Moore, and in 3rd place, Joe Solis. So one of the riders down up there on the top of the hill is Ron Sweet. So 180 for Billy DeBear is also back there in 4th position, so it could be 2 riders that were knocked out up there. The 2 riders were knocked out, so Billy DeBear is still holding on to 4th position.
How many entries you got?
Solis is trying to go on the outside of Richard Moore, and he got 2nd spot. And it looks like Moore's coming right back to take 2nd from him. So it looks like we're going to have a race for 2nd spot here toward the end. But very unfortunate. It would have been interesting to see how all 5 of those riders would have come by the start-finish line. But the checkered flag, but it looks like Reynosa is going to motor away and pick up his, I believe he's going to pick up his 2nd win after the race, or during one of the sidecar races perhaps. But it looks like Steve Reynosa is going to take the win. But this battle for 2nd is still in doubt, as Solis and Moore battled out for 2nd. Moore pulls out a little bit now over Solis as they hit around turn number 8. Billy DeBear, who obviously lost some time in that accident up there on top of the hill, fighting back and forth, but he's coming on too late, too slowly, and it's not going to work. It looks like Steve Reynosa is going to take another win in this 500 Honda Interceptor Series race. The battle for 2nd still in doubt. Here comes Solis. Solis is going to try to draft him, but no, he's given up. He's given up the ghost. He's motioning something to his tank, but he's going to have to settle for 3rd. And that is the position at the finish. Steve Reynosa picking up his another win in the Honda 500 Interceptor Series race, and it looks like Richard Moore finishing 2nd, Joe Solis finishing 3rd, Billy DeBear finishing 4th. Oh, here's a nice battle here in the middle of the field, 496 and 136 coming by. That was a couple of riders battling back there in the 6th and 7th positions. We're going to try and pick up the numbers for you that went down up there on the top of the hill. But once again, the Honda 500 Interceptor Series race, probably the best racing of the day. always one of the best races out here is that Honda 500 Interceptor Series race, and that proves it once again. Went right down to the white flag lap before it was decided. And of course, if those guys had not fallen up there in turn number 4, you would have seen a real great race right up to the checkered flag. But as it was, it kind of sorted the field out a little bit, and we're going to try and get the... Listen, I'm going to need absolute silence here because I'm not going to be able to keep all these guys straight, only with the lead changes and stuff, but here they go. Bike number 185. Yeah, but we're... Billy DeBeer from Temple City Honda, and also Alan Reinl, Redline Videos. Bike number 185X, he was currently running, I believe, 4th in the point standings. Bike number 241 is going to be Chris Grabau, and he's going to be the guy with the camera on his bike. He's going to have an on-camera bike with that. He's going to have a VCR of this race, and he's going to be bike number 241. You see some huge object sticking up from his motorcycle. That is the camera. He's got an onboard camera on that motorcycle. Bike number 116X, Art Kawaguchi. Bike number 183, this is going to be Richard Moore. He is tied for the point standings. Richard Moore, sponsored by Tustin Honda. Then comes bike number 368, Rick Marino. Bike number 136, Steve Schrader. Bike number that's been up among the leaders every race, but has misfortune like a mechanical or a crash, put him out every time. He's out of the points lead this year, but he's really a rider to watch for. He could win his first one. He was leading the last race. Bike number 425, Ron Sweet. Bike number 26X, Ben Williams. Bike number 496, Eric Van Marter. Bike number 75, here's the other rider, tied with Richard Moore for the point standings. These two riders are going to go right down to it. This is champion Honda's Steve Rosa. Then comes bike number 131, the dirt tracker turned road racer, Jim Rosa. And rounding out the field from Northern California, that's Jaws. Bike number 178, Mark Engels. And Mark Engels, watch for him to be up here. He hasn't raced very many of these, but he's always up in the top 5. In fact, watch out for every one of these guys. This is going to be an incredible race. Remember now, keep your eye on bike number 75. That is Steve Reynosa, sponsored by Champion Honda, and 183 Richard Moore, Tustin Honda. One of those two riders, if they beat each other, will become the champion. And if anything untoward happens to those two, bike number 356 from Whittier Honda, Joe Solis could take over the lead. So not only are the riders nervous, but remember, we've got some dealerships here. Tustin Honda, Champion Honda, and Whittier Honda, and Billy DeBeer, Temple City Honda. A lot of pride on all these dealerships in Southern California on the line here for this Honda Interceptor Series race. And this is just going to be one great race. So if it's anything like the last 5 or 6, we're in for a 5-6 rider duel right down to the checkered flag. Got an ambulance with flashing red lights and you guys are ignoring it. We need all that stuff to be cleared up and have a clear way for the ambulance to get through, please. It works? Okay, some very nervous riders coming up to the starting line here, as we mentioned. If you want to jot down some favorites, this is it. 183, Richard Moore, Tustin Honda. 75, Steve Reynosa, Champion Honda, Costa Mesa. And remember here on the Temple City Honda, and Alan Reynolds' Redline video also sponsoring him, and also Kelly DeBeer. Okay, those are the 4 riders to watch for. 183, 75, 356, and 185. And we're about ready to go, the final one. And of course this looks like a pretty depleted field, but that's only because a lot of riders don't have a chance at the points, so they didn't show up. But remember, at the beginning of the season, we had 30 riders that go in this race. In fact, Wes Cooley was even entered in this race at the beginning of the year. Here we go. We're going to find out right now who's going to take the title. Is it going to be Moore? Is it going to be Reynosa or Solis? If anything happens to Solis, all Moore and Reynosa have to do is just battle each other. They don't have to worry about anybody else. And don't forget Mark Ingalls, who does very well in these races, and also 425 Ron Sweet. Let's see if Ron Sweet can win one this year. Here we go, we're up to the 2-minute sign, in fact the 1-minute sign, and we're going to turn aside. We're going to be ready to go here in 10 seconds. We get the green flag and they're underway. Oh, a lot of wheelies. It didn't do Mark Ingalls any good. He was on the pole, and now he's dead last after doing a wheelie. Mark Ingalls is going to have to do some work to get up into the lead again, and we don't know who's leading around turn number 1. We'll have to pick up the numbers and names for you. They're too far off in the distance, and all of a sudden all the colors become a blur. Down the back straightaway, and look at this. I haven't seen them stretch out this far in a long time as they go into turn number 8 and into turn number 9.
Hey, still first.
Here we come out of turn number 9, and right now they're pretty much single file as they come down to complete lap number 1. Okay, right now it's Joe Solis out in front, and Solis has to win this thing if he wants to get anywhere near those point championship. 183 running in second spot, that is Richard Moore from Tustin Honda. 185, Billy DeBeer running in third spot. Bike number 178 running in fourth. That is Mark Ingalls. Bike number 241 running in fifth. That is Chris Grabau, and running in sixth spot, 131. That was Jim Rosa, and running in seventh spot, way off the pace and looking bad right now, is Steve Reynosa, and it looks bad for Steve Reynosa after lap number 1. in the front. 1, 2, and 3. In fact, it's quite a battle for 4th position. The top 3 runners right now pretty far apart. In fact, this is the farthest apart we've seen them all year long. Down the back straightaway they go, and Joe Solis showing why he's won a couple of these. In fact, he's consistently up in the top 3 every time. That's why he's up in the points lead, or up in the top 3 in the points lead so far this year, Solis. But it looks like 2nd and 3rd starting to close in a little bit on Joe Solis as they come down and complete lap number 2. We're going to be 1/4 of this race through, and Reynosa, his championship starting to go by the wayside. Here they come. It's still Solis. It's Richard Moore, then comes Billy DeBeer, then comes Reynosa, 75 and 4th now, so he's picked off 2 places, and then comes Mark Ingalls in 5th. Reynosa, he's got to get by Moore. Joe Solis from Whittier, California, sponsored by Whittier Honda. Going to try and win one here at the end of the year, and hopefully that'll get him enough points to win the thing. Look at this now, battle for 2nd. We're working the 3rd lap here. And Billy DeBeer showing good form up there in the top 3. As they go down that back straightaway, the top 4 now starting to really split themselves away. We've got a terrific dice with 4 riders back here in 6th or 7th spot. But your leader, Joe Solis, with a pretty commanding lead going into turn number 8. And look at this now, 3rd place starting to creep up on 2nd. It's still Joe Solis out in front, coming down and complete another lap. Look at this battle now for 2nd. This could determine the championship. It's Richard Moore and Billy DeBeer. Billy DeBeer can get around Richard Moore. That's going to put nobody between himself and Reynosa. And Reynosa still holding on in 4th. Here goes Billy DeBeer. In 3rd spot, he's going to try and get 2nd. He's to the inside, and he's got 2nd spot. Billy DeBeer goes into 2nd. Moore wants nothing to do with that. He's trying to come back, and all that time, Reynosa's creeping up. Remember, it's those 2, Moore and Reynosa, running 3rd and 4th right now. And Reynosa now trying to take the inside over to DeBeer. He outbreaks him, and it looks like Moore takes it back that position as they go up the hill. But DeBeer, the spoiler right in the middle of those 2, and Reynosa is getting closer. Standings up if he should win this one. But look at Moore and look at Reynosa. They're in 2nd and 4th right now, and Billy DeBeer sandwiched right in between them in 3rd as they crest the top of the hill and down it back straightaway. This is the type of racing we've seen all year long for the lead, and now it's going to be for 2nd position, but this is for all the marbles as far as Moore and Reynosa are concerned. They go into turn number 8. Reynosa holding out 3rd. Here goes Billy DeBeer. He's going to try and get 2nd again. Temple City Honda versus Whittier Honda versus Champion Honda and Tustin Honda all in there together on the top 4 as they come out of turn number 9. And right now, Whittier Honda looks pretty good with Joe Solis aboard. Look at this battle for 2nd. It's really closing up now, all 3 side by side. Look at this. It's going to be Reynosa now taking over 3rd from DeBeer, and Richard Moore back in 4th. Moore now knows Reynosa's ahead of him for the first time today, and he's probably scared right now as DeBeer still holding his position in 3rd. DeBeer now takes over 2nd spot, and Reynosa and Moore now have each other in each other's sights. This is going to be probably one of the most important moments in these 2 riders' lives right now as they go up into turn number 3. Solis has got to be a little nervous out there in front. He doesn't know where his competition is, and they're closing in on him, believe it or not, as we're coming up to the halfway point. Well, it looks like DeBeer, Moore, and Solis still holding on to that lead very precariously in one little bobble, and these other riders will be right up on him. I don't think I could take a 4-rider duel for the lead. Here they go down the back straightaway, and it looks like Well, DeBoer still managed to be sandwiched in between Moore and Reynosa. In fact, it looks like Reynosa in second, Moore back there in fourth. Boy, Billy DeBoer could really upset things here back there in third spot. Remember, he's fourth in the point standings right now. Solis running in third in the point standings, running out front right here on the racetrack. Solis coming down and complete another lap. And that Moore-Reynosa duel coming out of turn number 9. Joe Solis still leading. Reynosa in second. Billy DeBoer in third. Richard Moore in fourth right now. Richard Moore in fourth spot in the position of losing that championship to Steve Reynosa, who's running in second on that champion Honda. There goes Billy DeBoer. He gets a good drive off of turn number 1 once again, and he goes to the inside and takes over second. So now it's Reynosa and Moore running third and fourth around turn number 2. Solis went Redline in that turn and lost a little bit of time to run up into turn number 3. And I believe your second, third, or fourth place runners are definitely catching the leader, but I hate to focus in on the leaders, but there's a terrific scrap between 5 riders back here for 5th place, putting on a tremendous show for jockeying for positions back there. And that's the type of racing you see here. It's cut off into 2 different clashes around this racetrack. Solis now around turn number 8. It looks like it's still Reynosa, DeBoer, and Moore in that order. Solis coming down to complete another lap. He still has about a half a second lead over second place Reynosa. Reynosa doesn't look like he wants to settle for second. He wants to go for the win. DeBoer in third spot and Moore still in fourth. Right now, Richard Moore, the championship slipping from his fingers, has about 10 yards ahead of him is the champion Reynosa. If he can just stay there at the end of the race. Billy DeBoer, as we mentioned, a major factor in this race right now, sandwiched right in between both of them. Moore goes a little wide around turn number 2. And look at this now. This 3-rider duel for second spot is going to be a 4-rider duel for the lead. That definitely Reynosa is closing in on your leader. He is the fastest bike on the racetrack right now, Richard Moore, and he's closing in on the leader as the other 2 are too. DeBoer and Moore closing in on the leader. They're definitely a lot closer this lap than they were the last lap. Solis may not win this thing after all. They're definitely getting closer, aren't they? Yes. Second, third, fourth, closing in on your leaders, and this is definitely now a 4-rider duel for the lead. John Rowley, we're looking for John Rowley to get out the white flag. Is it this lap? We're going to have about 3 miles to go right now. Look at this. DeBoer's going to try and make a move on second. DeBoer's right on the rear wheel of Reynosa right now. They swing wide out of turn number 9. They're going to have to do that one more time. They'll come down to the checkered flag. This is the white flag lap. The chess match now starts. It looks like Solis is going to hold on to the lead. Reynosa's got second. Look at DeBoer. He's going to try and upset things. DeBoer in third spot closes in on second. He's going to try and get around Reynosa on the outside coming out of turn number 1 as he's done in the past. Here he goes. Gets a good drive out of 1. He goes to the inside. He's got around him. He's in second place. Reynosa's back in third. Richard Moore sees all this, and now Reynosa gets it back. There's nothing Moore can do. He's going as fast as he can. He still sees his championship sliding away. Reynosa's going to be the champion if he can hold on. Champion Honda in second spot has got the championship wrapped up. If he can hold it together. But DeBoer now in third spot trying to capture second. They're still closing in on Solis, but I don't think there's going to be enough time. Out to go. Solis over the crest of the hill. Then comes Reynosa. Then comes DeBoer. And then comes Moore. Moore's going to have to pull some sort of rabbit out of his hat if he's going to win this one. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4 down the back straightaway. Joe Solis looks like he's going to win it. Reynosa looks like he's going to win the championship. Solis looks like he's going to win the race. Here comes Joe Solis on the Whittier Honda from Whittier, California. He's going to win the race. They're not going to catch him. We'll see if Reynosa can hold off DeBoer. The important thing is he's going to hold off Richard Moore, and Steve Reynolds is going to become the champion. Joe Solis is going to win the race. Richard Moore is going to become, Steve Reynolds is going to become the champion. Billy DeBerry finishes third. Richard Moore finishes fourth. And now, hey, we want to capture this race going on here for fifth spot. We've got about 6 riders going at it here, coming out of turn number 9. Here they come, freight train style, out of turn number 9, and leading this pack, coming down into fifth spot. Going to be bike number 26, then comes 131 Jim Rosa. And Mark Engels, who had a good start at the beginning, or had a bad start, had to do the whole race trying to make up time. He was on the pole, got a relay, but he was last into turn number 1 and had to make up time. Okay, if we can have Joe Solis. Oh, let's get Richard Moore, Steve Reynolds, Billy DeBerry, and Joe Solis, all 4 of you up here. In fact, we could have 18 Matthew Schindler, bike number 711, another favorite, Nigel Gale, bike number 715.